welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we are going to have another Sailfish OS related topic, and today we are going to talk about the Love Day 2 or what came out of it. So on the 20th of May 2024 there was the Love Day 2. The Love Day 1 was the one that was, I think, 11 years before that, pretty much, and there they revealed Sailfish OS, or at least the development of Sailfish OS and stuff like that. And today we had, or better to say, in this year, a couple of days ago, we had the Love Day 2 by Jolla, where they did a pretty long presentation. I think it was over 1 hour of presentation about what is going on with Jolla, what kind of new devices we are going to see, what kind of development is going on, and so on and so forth. It was a pretty interesting thing where really a lot of different topics were discussed. If you want to know all about it, I will put the link to the stream down below. And in this video we are just going to talk a little bit about it and more or less a compressed version, summary of all this, what was discussed there. I may not cover everything, but a couple of things I find interesting. We are going to talk about that. And in the end, what you already can see is that we've got a couple of different things, very interesting things. For instance, we got a new smartphone, which was, more or less revealed. In the end, it's probably one that we can already see somewhere else, so I'm going to show you which one it is. I'm not sure about it, it's just a rumor or just something we think that it could be the same smartphone, and it matches pretty much from price and what we know about the smartphone itself already. And the interesting thing is that it's really something that is with Jolla and Reader together. So Reader is a Turkish manufacturer of smartphones, and they are probably providing the hardware of it, and Jolla, of course, is providing the software for it. And so this is really the new community phone tool, C2, which is now available for pre-order. If I go over here, you can already see it. Here is the official shop for that. We have this limited edition for $300 or euros, in this case euros, and it's $299. And in the end, this is the smartphone we're going to talk about. There are about 1,000 devices at the moment. You can get more if there is demand for it, but at the moment we have this first limited batch of 1,000 devices, not 2,000, 1,000 devices. And in the end, what you can do at the moment is you can pre-order this for a 50 euro voucher, more or less, and that one is going to be more or less pre-salement, or whatever you want to call it, for the $299 limited edition. So the price will still be there. You will have to pay after that about 250 euros or 294 euros because you already got this 50 euro voucher. But in the end, this is all about this new phone. Very interesting one. I can show you a couple of different things about it. If we go to this, we can go down and you already can see, okay, Reader is a Turkish manufacturer of it. You can already see it has three lenses there. Pretty nice smartphone, looks pretty nice from the images, at least I can see here. I of course didn't have it in my hand or something because I'm not in Turkey or something like that. So if you're really living there, you might already have experienced it. I didn't. But if you have a look at everything here, there are a couple of different information I already told you about on this page. And if we go down, we can see some of the specs here. So it's going to be Sailfish OS 5.0, which is an interesting fact because Sailfish OS 5.0 isn't out yet. We have 4.6, which was announced on the Jolla's Love Day 2. And in the end, the 4.6 one is in early access now, so some people already got it for testing and stuff like that. It probably will take 1 to 3 weeks in general, something like that, till everybody is receiving it. But if you don't have it at the moment, you're not in early access mode, so just wait for the final version to go out there. Anyway, this is the following up version probably. So it's going to be, it's meant to come out about in August of this year. So if 5.3 is coming out, then it's going to have the API level 33 of Android in it, with the paid version at least. And that means that it's going to be more or less based on Android 13, so a much newer version than the one we've got now. Now we've got, I think, API level 30, so not 33, but 30, and 30 is Android 11, if I'm not wrong. And in the end, what you already can see here, we have a couple of different informations about, for instance, the memory of it. It will have 8 GB of RAM, which is a nice one, 128 GB of storage, which is fine, and especially if it's micro SD extendable, everything is fine with that. We have a pretty small resolution, I think, for 6.5 inches there. That's fine. It's not very, very low res or something. It's fine, but it's not very high. Good thing about it is that then the performance should be pretty nice, because CPU, which is a processor you can see here, and the GPU do not have to provide the data of a higher resolution display, which means they have more stuff or more power to go with other stuff. So that might be a good thing, because this is the SOC they're using there, or the processor they're using there. It's not the fastest one. So in the end, it's of course an entry level part there. So at $299, it's not something that is going to compete with a new iPhone or something. That's not going to happen. But in the end, it should be capable of doing it, especially with this resolution. So I think it's going to be okay. In the end, we have a 4,000 milliampere hours of battery, which is a fine way, it's fine to have that. We have Type-C, of course. We have 3 cameras, as mentioned before, so 64 MP for the main camera lens, 16 MP and 8 MP for the other ones probably. I'm not sure if this one of these is already the selfie one, or if it's only all the 3 below there or behind at the rear, more or less. I'm not sure about that. We will see. Other thing, if you have a look at this is very important to know. This is a smartphone that doesn't support 5G, which is a little bit of a bummer, I would say. Doesn't really matter. So if you are going, or you need 5G for something, or you think that 5G is the future and you need it for that reason or whatever, you can go with one of the other 2 presented smartphones, which are the Sony Xperia 10 Mark IV and Mark V, which are going to be supported at the same time with probably Sailfish OS 5.0 then too. So it's meant to come out for those 2 smartphones in the same time slot, more or less, so in August, September, somewhere there. And the free version of it, so the free version, which doesn't have any kind of Android support or something like that, will even come earlier for the 2 smartphones, so Sailfish OS 10.4, or the Mark IV and the Mark V. They are going to be earlier than August, from what I heard from Jolla on the Sailfish OS day, or the Love day too. And other than that, we have an audio jack, which is fine. We have a dual SIM with a nano and a micro SD part, which is fine and a nice thing. And of course, if you are not into this kind of form factor, so some call this, it's more or less looking like something you would find in a Snickers bar or something. I don't mind this form factor, but some people like it wider. So in the end, this is a much different one, a much different form factor than I have here. So just try it out. I think it's a little bit very wide for me, so I'm not sure about that. Anyway, I got this just for the heck of it. I wanted to have this smartphone to see how it's comparing to my Mark III or my Mark 10, my Xperia 10 Mark III. There we go. in the end. So I'm just going to see how it's working out, and if it's not working out for me, that's fine. I'm going to get probably the Mark V then or something. But at the moment, this is of course my smartphone. It's a Sony Xperia 10 Mark III running Sailfish OS, and this, as mentioned before, is the C2 then. Okay, so let's have a look at something different we could see on the part there too. So as mentioned before, what you already know, we got the support for the 10 Mark IV and 5, which was announced too. We got more or less this new community edition of the smartphone you can see here, which is own Jolla smartphone, so something that is not by Sony or something, but Jolla is really on the smartphone as a manufacturer. If you have a look at the images you can see here, for instance, I'm not sure if you are able to see that. Maybe I can, give me a sec, hopefully I can, yeah. Switch over. As you can see, we have Jolla on the smartphone itself here. So it's Jolla times Reader in this case, community edition, brought by you, by those two companies. And that's fine. We have, as mentioned before, these 3 cameras, which is a nice thing, and probably it's some kind of a flash. It looks like it's probably a 2 LED flash or something, I'm not sure. But that's looking all fine, so everything is fine. On the 10 Mark III here, we have only a single one, and if I, for instance, have a look at my Windows Mobile one here, we've got a 3-part one. So I'm not exactly sure what this is. It might be one of those. What's the difference in the end? This one will give you more natural images, because if you are using the flash, then with one flashlight you probably only have a certain kind of range in your wavelengths, and the 3 here have different ones, so they're trying to emulate a more natural light. That's what that is all about. Not very important, but just so you have heard it before. So let's have a look where this smartphone is priced and what it probably is. I found on the Reader website, so you can go to the Reader website. I'm going to post it down below just to give you the option to go there too. It's probably the S19 Max Pro S, green or not, doesn't matter, it's purple or green. And yeah, don't mind this price. This is an automatic translated version of this website, and the automatic translation translates Turkish lira to euro, which is total bullshit. So in the end, if you really compare the prices there, I already did that, it's about 380 euros, which would be this 10,800 lira. So in the end, it's about the price we are expecting for the community smartphone. It's fine to have it at 299. It's not overpriced or something. Seems like a very reasonable one, especially if you consider that Sailfish OS is going to be pre-installed on it. So that is a nice little part there. Everything's fine for that. Yeah, and what you also can see on this picture, for instance, we have the Mind 2, which is the IE device they talked about. Mind 2 is meant to be something. I can just go down here. Here's a little article. It's available in German and English. If you want to have a look at that, I'm going to put it down below too. So give me 1 sec. There we go. Where everything is more or less talked about too. The Mind 2 IE device was unveiled, and this is more or less more locally running IE device which can be used other than locally. So if you want to run it locally, that's fine, you can do that. There's going to be some kind of a language model running on this little part. The box seems to be something like this from the size, and it's more or less like a router or something that you are going to put into your home base, and with the Ethernet connection there. And it's not going to go outside with all the information you're giving it in. There are only a few informations till now which are on that. There's another company which is working with Jolla on that. it depends on if you are really after IE or not. If you really want to go the IE road, this is probably a good one. The Mind 2 IE device by Jolla is probably one of the more data protected ones, and will help you with keeping your data to you and not giving it to large language models outside of that or something. Problem with the other company I saw there, which they had one of the persons of the company there, and they talked with them. The one problem with that is that one is placed, I think, in the US, so at San Francisco or something. And of course they're telling you, we are not giving out any kind of data, protected data to anybody or something. But still, it's an US company, so that might be a little bit of a troublesome one. Anyway, better than Google, Microsoft and so on, it's going to be, I'm pretty sure about that. Anyway, what you already can see here too is that there is a new model, or a new subscription model, better to say, to pay for app support and other paid services for Sailfish OS. So that is a very interesting thing too. At first they announced that they are going to only give this option with a subscription model, so it was $4.99 a month for Sailfish OS paid services. So the free version isn't going to be affected by this at all. Just keep it like it is. And then there was this subscription model for something like the app support for Android apps and exchange support and probably text prediction. I think these are the three services that are included there. Till now that was a single payment, one-time payment one, which you would pay, I think, it depends on when you got it and stuff like that, but between 29 and 49 euros you had to pay once, and then you got that and lifetime. Okay? With the subscription model, it would be $4.99 a month, and only as long as you are paying more or less. You are getting updates. It's very important. So only the update part is really part of the subscription. You can run the software itself, if you already have it on your smartphone, as long as you want. So at the state it is in, at this version, just buy it. And you're going to, even if you're not paying any more of the subscription fees, you're going to just have this kind of state you already have on your smartphone. That will stay, you can use it. It's not going to be limited in any way. That was first announced, but it wasn't long to stay. In the end, you can still get the subscription model, especially if you want to support Jolla or something. That's pretty much a good thing. I'm considering to do it anyway. And after that, there was some kind of discussion on the Jolla Love Day there, and after that they announced, hey, we are going to keep a one-time payment option too. I'm not sure if the price will be the same for that, so let's see what's going on there. But in the end, for the smartphones that are already on the market at the moment, so for instance the Mark III, or the support for it, of course, not the smartphones, but the support of it, the Mark III, for instance, by Sony here, that one is already on the market, and so this one will stay. Anyway, you're paying, I think, $29.99 at the moment for the smartphone if you want to get a lifetime version of the paid services, and that will stay anyway. And after that, we don't know what the new price for the Mark IV and 5 will be. Probably the same, but we don't know. Maybe it's $49.99 or it's for $29.99. I'm not sure which one it's going to be for the other smartphones then, but still, you can still pay one time, use it as long as you want, and get updates for it. Or optional, you can use the subscription model, so don't pay the one-time part, but only pay the subscription for $4.99 a month. And if you go with the $4.99 a month version, then you are just going to get updates as long as you are subscribed. If you unsubscribe or something, you're just going to have the state of your smartphone, use it as it is, and so on and so forth. I find, even if they switch to the subscription model, I would find that totally okay, because if you are not losing any kind of functionality by your smartphone or something, if you're not paying the subscription. That's a good model. It's something that I can work with, and it would be fine. But anyway, as mentioned before, you don't even have to cope with that. You can just buy one-time parts, as it seems. Yeah. So other than that, what did we hear additional to that? Yeah, there are a couple of different other things, smaller ones and stuff like that. 4.6 update in early access now, you already know about that. And a little bit of an interesting note aside of that is that the E-Class of Mercedes-Benz is using probably app support, but app support is a conclusion. It's not really something they said, but probably the software on the Mercedes-Benz E-Class at the moment, the new one, is powered by app support, or at least Jolla helped with some of it. Don't know which part it was, but very interesting too, just a side note, but still a nice information. Yeah, and this is more or less all I can tell you about the Jolla Love Day 2. As mentioned before, we have a couple of links down below in the description box of this video. Just have a look at that. If you have any kind of questions or whatever, put them down below in the commentary section. I'm trying to answer them. I'm not sure if I can, but I will try. And other than that, thank you for watching. If you didn't subscribe to the channel till now, do it now. Give it a thumbs up, of course, if you liked this video. And other than that, thank you for watching. See you around and bye. Bye.